What is going on, Mavs fans? Welcome to Mffl Only, presented by 1021. I am your host, Bearcon Dinser, aka Bearcon D Official. Welcome. We did not have the best week, Mavs fans. We definitely did not. Losing our last preseason game to Charlotte Hornets, which no one really cares about, so we're just gonna skip past that and focus more on our loss to the Phoenix Suns, our home opener in Phoenix. We lose 121-100. Not what we're hoping for, obviously. Not the result we wanted for the first game of the season. I don't know about you guys, but I really miss starting 1-0. I know it doesn't matter. I know Golden State started 0-1 last year and still won the championship. And us true Mavs fans are going to believe championship or bust. So 0-1 is not going to stop us. I'm pretty sure the year we won the NBA Finals, we actually went 0-1 anyway. So it's fine. 0-1. 81 more games. 162 more halves to play. But still, the loss does sting. And then Luka Doncic's debut wasn't as great as we hoped. However, you guys will notice I am wearing the Luka Doncic jersey. The reason for that is because even though he did not have the best game, I still believe in him, and I still think we're going to see some great things from him this season. And then it's only going to go up from here. So, with that being said, he is promising. He did show some really nice plays and abilities in that opening game against the Phoenix Suns. And some great passes. The behind the back to DeAndre Jordan was amazing. I personally loved him going up. Kind of looked like a shot from certain angles, but he just dished it to DeAndre. DeAndre got the easy dunk. Plays like that are what we really are going to see from Doncic this season, and that's what we really need. And something I love about that is it kind of resembles Barea Powell, that kind of relationship, which is what we want. Because like it or not, Barea Powell is something that the Mavs need every season. It is something that always provides a spark. Even in our bad games, I can always count on those two providing a spark. Even if Powell doesn't have a great game like he did last night, because Powell did have a great game, going for 16 points, and most of those just being feeds from Barea. It's what we need. It's a spark that we always need, and we always seem to get with those two. So I'm really pleased with their performance, and I love that we can kind of see flashes of that with Luka and DeAndre, because that's something we need. So that's great there. Now, another thing about last night's game, Phoenix couldn't miss. They just couldn't. I don't think I can remember a time where Phoenix shot the ball so well. I saw a tweet yesterday. I'm sorry, I can't remember who tweeted it, but someone mentioned that Houston and Phoenix pretty much swapped places, and that was so accurate. I've never seen Phoenix shoot the ball like this. Therefore, I will blame this loss on the fact that Phoenix shot so well, and of course, Devin Booker. That man. Also, Trevor freaking Ariza. I swear, I can't remember a time as well that Trevor Ariza had a bad game against Dallas. I mean, why Dallas? Why couldn't you have really great games against the Warriors or something? Why do you have to pick Dallas? It's so infuriating. He never shoots less than like 60% against Dallas. And never scores less than 15 points against Dallas. He's always so freaking productive against Dallas. I guarantee you, this next game, he's going to have like 4 points, 1 of 5 or something like that. It's crazy. Anyway. But defense is something that Dallas needs to worry about. Maybe he wouldn't have played so well if Dallas picked up their defense. The defensive end was just straight up ugly in the first half. It improved in the second half. First half, it was just ugly. I mean, the first half in general was pretty ugly. But it just wasn't that great. They need to really learn how to kind of move. I think the Mavs are going to have great ball movement. They need to learn how to replicate that movement on the defensive end. And yes, I get they don't have the ball, so they can't have great ball movement on defense, but you can still be a great defensive moving team. And the Dallas Mavericks, to be successful, to make the playoffs like they want to make the playoffs, they need to be a better defensive team, and that starts with defensive movement. Now, Luka's shot did not fall last night. They were short, they were off to the right, off to the left, just barely getting to the rim or an air ball. I mean, that's fatigue. That's all it was. You didn't need to be a basketball genius to know that. Luka has a great shot. He really does. When he gets his space and when he gets the separation that he needs, he has a good shot. But it just wasn't in his legs last night, as you can kind of see, which is something you see with rookies. I don't really want to hear, oh, Luka's not in NBA shape. he's fine. Okay, he is fine. He's not the best, but he's fine. And he'll get there. But that could have been a reason to why the shot wasn't falling. Now, something that I did notice about him in the preseason and in the first game is that he needs to work on his free throw shooting. Luka, you're going to be a great player for Dallas. You really are. You have literally everything we want you to have. You have the ability to pass the ball. You have the ability to score. You have a defensive presence on a good night when you're not in foul trouble, that is. But you have to learn to make your free throws. Now, last night, yes, your free throws going 0 for 2 or 0 for 3 or whatever it was didn't really make a difference in the score, but it could. It definitely could have. If the game stayed the way it was before Devin Booker decided he's going to go off for 19 points in the fourth quarter, I mean, it was a close game. They're losing like 104 to 100. It was a close game, and those free throws could have been the difference. So you just got to work on those free throws. Now, Wesley Matthews, he was just ripped to shreds last night. I mean, literally ripped to shreds on Twitter. Nobody wanted anything to do with Wesley Matthews. Offensively, yes, it was terrible. Second half was better. First half, oh my gosh. Please, no. But he does still have a defensive presence, which, remember everyone, he's not still on this team for his offense. His offense at this point is just a plus. He's not going to get paid next season for his offense. He's going to get paid because he does have a great defensive presence. And it's something we need. And thankfully, we're also getting that defensive presence from Dorian Finney-Smith, who I know some of you guys were shocked about his scoring ability last night. I know we didn't get to see him all out last season, so it's not as fresh as everyone's mind. But he can score the ball, but most importantly, he's a great defender, and we got to see that a lot. Devin Booker tried to ISO him a couple times, that he couldn't get past him. That was great. That's exactly what we need from Dorian Finney-Smith, especially with Harrison Barnes being out. Because even though Harrison Barnes could return this Saturday against Minnesota Timberwolves, we don't know. And frankly, we just need Dorian Finney-Smith whenever we can have him. So, now, lastly with this game, Devin Booker, it's already been mentioned. Can't do anything about that. He literally took the knife and just finished us. Like I said, it was 104 to 100. Mavs were in it. They were a couple shots from just taking the lead in general and probably running away with it. Devin Booker said nope. I mean, there were shots that you shouldn't take in a game, but he did take. And this generation NBA, it's completely normal for him to take those shots anyway. But he was making shots that you don't typically see go in, and he was making a lot of them. So, I mean, it's simple as that. Moving on to the headlines for this week. Devin Harris obviously out aggravating that hamstring. He mentioned that in an interview, I believe it was with Eddie Solafos. Sorry, terrible names. But anyway, he was talking to him about how he's going up for a layup and it aggravated it. Devin Harris is one of those spark guys. So this is one of those situations where you hope he doesn't stay sidelined for too long. I'm hoping that he maybe just misses this T-Wolf game and then is back Monday against Chicago. But this does give Jalen Brunson a good chance to kind of show what he's got. He showed some rookie nerves, but at the end of those games, he had a big charge, big three to put us back in. So he's definitely capable. I mean, obviously in NCAA, he was amazing. Player of the Year last season. There's definitely a lot of upside to him. So if Devin Harris is out, we at least can depend on him to kind of play the role of Devin Harris, as well as kind of be someone that can replace the efficiency we got from Yogi Ferrell last season. Also, Harrison Barnes is hopeful to return Saturday. I mean, look, Dallas lost 121 to 100. Obviously, it doesn't work like this, but you can always depend on Harrison Barnes to get at least 18 points. So that puts us to a 3-point game. Of course, Dirk, even at his age, even in year 21, he's still going to get you at least 8 points. Even on his off nights, he gets 8 points at least. And so I think Mavs could have won. The Mavs probably would have won with a healthy lineup. So hopefully they get Harrison Barnes soon. We're obviously not going to get Dirk for a few more weeks. I'm thinking November 2nd against, I believe it's November 1st or November 2nd against New York Knicks. I believe that's my guess on when we'll get Dirk back. I originally guessed last week that we'll get him back October 26th or 28th, but I'm thinking more November. Now, upcoming Mavs schedule this Saturday against the Minnesota Timberwolves at home. Then they play the Bulls at home on Monday, and then finishing off with Atlanta on Wednesday. I think Saturday, the Mavs have a good chance to beat a good Bulls or a good Timberwolves team. Obviously, we all know what's going on with Jimmy Butler. We all know what's happening there in that locker room. They played a great game against San Antonio. It was close. They lost 112 to 108. I do believe, though, that come Saturday, they're not going to be the same team. I think that's where you get to see those locker room issues come out. First game, everyone wants to play good. They want to prove that they're not what everyone's been hearing about them. But that's kind of going to show more than it did last night against Spurs. So I think Mavs come away with the win on Saturday. Then on Monday against Chicago, I think it's an easy one. I really do. Chicago, I think they're a promising team, and in the next couple of years, I think they're going to kind of start to creep their way back into the conversation of being maybe a playoff contender. But I think it's going to be an easy win for the Mavs. I think we're going to get a good game out of DeAndre Jordan, and I think that's the game where we say, okay, Dennis Smith Jr., he's something special. And I think we start to see that Monday. Now for Luka, next Wednesday against Atlanta, in Atlanta, if there's ever a game to show the NBA that you are ready, if there's ever a game to just pull one out of your hat and just have a perfect game, it's against Atlanta in Atlanta. I think the Mavs win, because Mavs should have beaten Atlanta the last couple seasons, but yet somehow find a way to lose to Atlanta. If there's ever a time to beat Atlanta, it's next Wednesday, and it needs to be Luka Doncic leading the helm. And the reason for that is because if Luka has a bad game, and if Trae Young has a decent game, the conversation's flipped. It immediately is flipped. And it's not true. Trae Young is not going to be a better player than Luka Doncic. He's just not. I think Trae Young's got a spotlight of a couple seasons, and then just nothing. I'm talking Michael Carter-Williams. Now, yes, Michael Carter-Williams, when he was drafted, people were excited about him, and obviously there's different comparisons, but I didn't think then Michael Carter-Williams was going to be anything, and he's not really anything. He's going to be a good bench player for Houston, sure, but he's not really anything. Trae Young, I don't think is going to be anything. I'm sorry, I just don't. I'm sorry, Atlanta fans, I don't see it. Luka has the potential, and yes, there's a possibility that Luka may not be able to, but I really do think that Luka has the basis he needs to be a great player in this league. And I think, if not this season, you'll definitely see it next season. But this season, you should see it. And I think if there's a night for you to see it, it should be against Atlanta next Wednesday, because that is a game where he needs to prove, hey, I belong. All right, that's all I got for MFF Only. This week, tune in next week for this conversation as we do. Be sure to like and subscribe and check out our Twitter at MFFL Only.